I'm very concerned about developments in that part of. It's outrageous what we are witnessing in Ukraine, and I'm extremely concerned about the situation and how it involves. I really urge all parties involved to stop the bloodshed and the violence immediately and engage in a constructive dialogue. Of course, the government has a special responsibility not to use excessive force, and I urge the Ukrainian military to stay neutral and not interfere with this conflict. And we haven't been asked to take on responsibility. NATO has a partnership with Ukraine, and that partnership is based on certain principles, among which it is a fundamental principle that the military doesn't turn against its own people. So if that were to happen, it would severely impact in a negative way the relationship between NATO and the Ukrainian authorities. The armed forces to stay neutral and not. Each and every nation has an inherent right to be free to choose its alliances. That's a really fundamental principle. I hope Russia will respect that fundamental principle.
Is this somewhere where the NATO role and the EU role?
We haven't so far seen any progress as regards a signature on the bilateral security agreement. And actually, I believe that President Karzai will not sign the security agreement, so it will be for his successor to make that decision. That would have a severely negative impact on the relationship. It is a prerequisite that we have the legal framework, an appropriate legal framework in place, and if we are not invited, we can't stay, and then we will have to withdraw everything by the end of this year. But let me repeat that our preferred option, of course, is to stay and help the Afghans as we have promised. It is a fundamental principle, of course, that the military doesn't turn against its own. I'm concerned that if there is no international presence with troops and trainers after 2014, then it will also be difficult to generate financial support to sustain the Afghan security forces, which means that the Afghan government would not be able to pay salaries to soldiers and police, and that would of course have a devastating effect on security in Afghanistan. And I think the Afghans know that, and this is a reason why I'm confident that at the end of the day we will get that signature on the security agreement.